Good morning.
Morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Okay, good morning, dear students. In the previous class, I have completed human eye. So I have started colorful world. So in colorful world, I have started refraction through glass prism. So yesterday's class, I started with dispersion of light. So I have uh, I was doing the activity of dispersion of light. So first what we do is we will take a cardboard. So we will make a small hole or a narrow slit in the cardboard and we place the prism on the other side of the narrow slit or the cardboard. Okay. So we allow the beam of light to pass through this. So as the beam of light is allowed to pass through this, since there is a small hole in the narrow slit, so a narrow beam of light will come out of this slit. So we allow this narrow beam of light to fall on the prism. So we will place screen on the other side of the prism. So other side of the prism there will be a screen. So now we will start uh, turning this prism, so until we get a band of colors on the screen. So I'll start rotating this prism. So after rotating at particular point, so I will see a band of colors obtained on the screen. Okay. So why does this band of colors is obtained on the screen? What actually happened inside the prism? Okay, that we will discuss now. So this white light is splitted into 7 colors. So this splitting up of white colored light into a band of colors or into
Spectrum.
its constituent colors. Splitting up of white light into its constituent colors. Constituent color means the white color is made up of different colors. Okay, that different colors, 7 colors. So that's what we call it as constituent colors. So splitting up of a white color into its constituent colors, we call it as dispersion. Okay, dispersion means splitting of white light into its const- constituent
Constituent
colors.
colors.
We call it as dispersion. So why do we see this band of colors? So this is the incident beam of light. This incident beam of light splits this white light into 7 colors. What is the reason for this 7 colors? Are these 7 colors seen separately or they will overlap each other? So we don't see these 7 colors separately, but still we see individual color separately. Okay, these, it is like you will first you will see one color, next you see one color, next you see one color. It is not like this. You will not see colors separately. So it is like this. This is one color, on top of that we have overlapping. So like this there will be 7 colors. Okay, if you observe the edges of this, so at this edge we will have violet color, at this edge we will have red color. If you
Red color.
see the sequence of color, it will be violet, indigo, blue,
Blue.
green, yellow, orange, red.
Orange.
Okay,
Red.
so this sequence of color, so we use an acronym WIBGOYAR. Okay, WIBGOYAR is used to remember the sequence of these colors. It is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. So why? What is the reason behind this splitting of colors? Why this white light is split into different colors? And why violet is at the last, why red is at the first? What is the reason? Anybody knows?
No, sir.
Wavelength.
No. It was done in 8th standard. I think 7th standard or 8th standard. Dispersion of light is there.
Wavelength, sir. Red have more wave.
Wavelength. Okay, let me explain. So you just know the splitting up of white colored light into its constituent colors, we call it as dispersion. So after the beam of light enters the prism, it will split the colors into 7 colors. These 7 colors will be obtained on screen. This band of color, whatever the band of color obtained on the screen, we call it as spectrum.
Spectrum.
Okay? We call it as spectrum. And the colored component, the sequence of colored component can be named with an acronym VIBGYOR. So why this colors will split into different white light will split into different colors because of its wavelength. So wavelength is lambda, you know wavelength in 9th standard in the chapter sound, wavelength has come. That is, the formula for wavelength is V is equal to F lambda. Lambda is equal to V divided by F, where lambda is the wavelength, V is the speed of light, F is the frequency. Here you should remember one thing: when light enters the prism, what is the quantity which is changing? So it is the wavelength. Frequency will be same, frequency remains constant, whereas wavelength changes. So the colored component here splits due to their wavelengths. Okay, so red has highest wavelength and violet has least wavelength, or you can say violet has least wavelength, red has longer wavelength. Okay, so longer wavelength is red, least wavelength is violet. We know V is equal to F lambda. Since frequency doesn't change when light enters into a prism, frequency remains constant, we will take it as a proportionality constant. So I can say V is directly proportional to lambda. Okay, what is V? V is speed of light, right? So V is speed of light. Speed of light is directly proportional to lambda. Lambda is wavelength. That means the speed after entering the prism decreases if wavelength is less. The speed after entering the prism increases if the wavelength is more. So that is why violet is having least wavelength. Okay, the wavelength of violet colored light is less. That is the reason the speed of the violet is less, as the speed of the sorry as the speed, correct, it is correct only, as the speed of the violet is less, it has bent the least. Okay, see here red is having longer wavelength, so wavelength of red is more, though, so the speed of red colored light is more. That is why it is not least deviated, it is most deviated. So here least deviated light is violet, most deviated light is red. Why red is most deviated, why violet is least deviated? The violet is least deviated because it is having shorter wavelength, or lesser wavelength, you can say it as shorter wavelength. So since violet colored light is having shorter wavelength, so as wavelength is directly proportional to velocity, so velocity of the violet colored light decreases. As the speed of the violet colored light decreases, it will bend the least. Understood? As the red is having longer wavelength, so its speed increases, so it is least deviated. So I will show you how exactly it happens. See, I said velocity or speed of light is directly proportional to lambda. So I'll write it VIBGYOR. So red wavelength is higher, violet is having shorter wavelength. So this is the prism. So when a beam of light enters the prism, so now red is having longer wavelength. So since it is having longer wavelength, its wavelength is more, speed will be more. So as the speed of the red color is more, so directly it will refract like this way. Okay, so this is red color. Now as the speed of the violet color is less, what happens? It will bend more. That means red is most deviated, violet is least deviated. So this is violet. So remaining all colors will be in between these two. So violet has a shorter wavelength, next to violet is indigo, next to indigo is blue. Like this wavelength will increase from the violet to red. Same according to this, the speed of different colored light will vary. Also refractive index is directly proportional to deviation. Okay, refractive index is directly proportional to deviation. That means if refractive index is more, deviation will be more. Correct? So suppose you take this as
Yes, sir.
air. So I will take three cases. This is air, second case water, and third case glass. So here angle of incidence is 30 degree. So what happens? In air, there won't be any bending. Okay, so it will go as it is. So angle of refraction is also 30 degree. So refractive index is 1. So now from air, it is entering into water. The light ray will bend towards the normal. If this is 30 degree, this will be around 25 degree. Okay, it is bending towards the normal. Now it is entering into glass, so this will be 30 degree. It will bend little bit more, it will be around 23 degree. So what is happening? Refractive index is directly proportional to deviation. What is deviation first? So you should know what is deviation. See, light instead of following this path, it has deviated this much. So this is what we call it as angle of deviation. You can see this as angle of deviation. See here, this is 25 degree, this will be remaining 5 degrees. Here it is 23 degree, this will be remaining 7 degrees. So here see, earlier angle of deviation is 0, here angle of deviation is 5 degree, here angle of deviation is 7 degree. Here refractive index is 1, here refractive index is 1.33, here refractive index is 1.5. So see, as the refractive index is increasing, angle of deviation is also increasing. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we can say refractive index is directly proportional to deviation. So come into the prism. So when light enters, so which is most deviated, which is least deviated? Least deviated is violet, most deviated
Violet.
is red.
Red.
So from this equation and this equation, so we also know n is inversely proportional to v. That is refractive index. N is equal to c by v, you know. N is equal to c divided by v. Refractive index is nothing but the ratio of speed of light in vacuum to the speed of light in any medium. If I consider it c as a constant, then I can write n is inversely proportional to v. That
1
means
by V.
refractive index is inversely proportional to speed of light. If refractive index is more, speed of light will be less.
Less.
ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So see, from this equation I can say if refractive index is more, deviation will be more, and it is directly proportional to 1 divided by v.
1 by B.
If refractive index is more, it means speed of light is less. It means deviation will be more.
More.
If refractive index is more, deviation will be more.
Deviation also.
But if so out of these two, speed of light will be less.
Less.
So here according to this, v is directly proportional to lambda. So I can say this also inversely proportional to lambda. ಬರಿಬೋದಾ? v is directly proportional to lambda ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1 by v ಇದೆ, so it is directly proportional to 1 by lambda ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
1 by lambda.
So refractive index is more, deviation will be more. So if these two are more, speed of light will be less, and also
Less.
wavelength of light will be less.
Less.
So now ಇದನ್ನ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. So this is the prism. This is a beam of white light. This is a red colored light. So now as the beam of light enters the prism, so first we get red colored light. So it is most deviated or least deviated?
Most deviated.
Most deviated. Most deviated. So try to apply this formula here. Why red is most deviated? Wavelength of red colored light is more.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Speed of
least
red colored light
deviated.
is more.
Yes, sir.
So deviation will be
Sir,
less.
least deviated, sir.
Least deviated. Least deviated. Most deviated is violet. Least deviated. So here, see, wavelength is more. Speed of light is more. Deviation is
Less.
less, because these two are inversely proportional. Deviation is less, also refractive index is less. If I consider at this point this as the normal, okay, if I consider this as the normal, so the light ray is bending, see this, it is, the angle is more, so the deviation will be, so
Yes.
sorry, the bending will be less, the bending will be less. So try to understand. I'll repeat it once again. See, wavelength of red is more. Since wavelength is directly proportional to speed, speed of red colored light is more. Since speed of light is inversely proportional to deviation, as speed of light is more, deviation will be less.
Deviation is
That is why it
less.
is least deviated.
D.
And refractive index is also less.
Less.
Understood now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So why red is least deviated? Because the wavelength of red is more,
More.
and wavelength of light is directly proportional to speed of light, and the speed of light will be more. Since the speed of light is more, deviation is inversely proportional to speed of light, hence the red colored light is less deviated.
Less
Now
deviated.
consider violet colored light. Violet colored light, it is most deviated. Most deviated. Why violet colored light is most deviated? Same. Wavelength of violet color is less.
Less.
Since wavelength is less, speed will be less. Since speed is less, speed is inversely proportional to deviation. So as speed is less, deviation will be more.
Deviation is
So that is
more.
why violet colored light will be most deviated. Understood? So this is how the
Yes, sir.
different colored light will deviate due to their wavelength and due to the refractive index, as well as due to the speed of light, colored light changes as it enters the prism. Understood? Okay, they may ask questions like why red is least deviated, why violet is most deviated, how refractive index is related to deviation. All these questions they will ask. So be ready with this. This is not there in textbook. This is extra information I am giving. So now, you know the scientist Sir Isaac Newton is the scientist, or Isaac Newton is the scientist who first tried to split the white colored light into different colored light by using a prism. So he placed one prism, he allowed the narrow beam of light to fall on the prism, then he got 7 colors, so he named it as Vibgaya. So now what he has done is, he further tried to split these colors, so he placed another prism, so he tried to split these individual color further, but he did not observe anything. So as he did not observe anything, he placed this prism, the identical prism, in an inverted position. So he placed the identical prism in an inverted position. So after placing identical prism in an inverted position, he observed that the white colored beam of light is coming out of the second prism. Then after doing this experiment, he concluded that the white colored light consists of 7 colors, that is Vibgaya. And also he said that any white colored light which splits any ray of light or any beam of light which splits it into 7 colors, we can call it as white colored light. Okay, understood? So this is how we has done an experiment. So first he placed one prism, so he got to know that the white colored light is splitted into 7 colors. Then he further tried to split those 7 colors. He placed one more prism, but he couldn't succeed. So what he has done is he placed one more identical prism in an inverted position. Then he observed that a beam of white light coming out of the second prism. So after this he concluded that the white colored light consists of 7 colors, and also he said any light that splits into 7 colors, we can call it as white colored light. Okay, or it is white in color. So next comes the concept of formation of rainbow. Okay, so formation of rainbow. So rainbow is a natural phenomena that occurs after the rain shower. So rainbow occurs after the rain shower. The main reason for the rainbow is the sunlight enters through the tiny water droplets present in the atmosphere. So these tiny water droplets will act as a prism. Okay, when sunlight enters through the tiny droplets present in the atmosphere after rain shower, not during rain. So rainbow will occur after rain shower. After rain shower, so in the atmosphere, the rain droplets will be hanging in the atmosphere. So these tiny water droplets will act like a prism. So I will take one droplet. So once the sunlight enters this, so first it will refract, then it will disperse, then it will reflect these rays internally. So then we observe this as a rainbow. Okay, so rainbow is a natural phenomena, occurs after a rain shower. So when sunlight enters through the tiny water droplets, these tiny water droplets will act like a prism. So when light enters through the tiny water droplets, first the light ray will refract, then it disperse, then it reflect it internally. So that is how we see the rainbow. So rainbow is always formed opposite to the direction of sun. If sun is in this direction, so it will form opposite to the direction of sun. So that means if we are standing here, so after rain shower, if we see in this direction, so this is how we see the rainbow. Understood? So main points here you have to remember is rainbow is a natural phenomena, occurs after rain shower. So as the sunlight enters through the tiny water droplets, these tiny water droplets will act like a prism. So first what happens? First refraction will take place, then dispersion will take place.
Dispersion.
After that internal reflection, then again from here refraction. Okay, so these are the main points: refraction, dispersion and internal reflection. So in the previous chapter light I have discussed about total internal reflection. Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
Sir, this is also the surface of the water droplet. This is also surface of the water droplet. As the beam of sunlight is entering through this, here it is refracting. Why here it is reflecting, sir? It has to refract, no? The light ray has to refract here. Why it is reflecting back? Because of internal reflection.
Total internal.
In this chapter, I discussed about total internal reflection. I'll say it again. So, if the ray of light is entering from denser medium to rarer medium, So the refracted ray is, if the refracted ray is perpendicular to the normal, then this angle we call it as critical angle. This angle is called as critical angle. We represent it by theta c. Theta c is the critical angle. When a ray of light enters from denser medium to rarer medium, the light ray bends. Okay, so the bent ray, whatever the refracted ray is perpendicular to the
To
normal.
normal.
So this angle of incidence we call it as critical
Critical
angle.
angle.
If the angle of incidence is more than critical angle, the light ray will, instead of refracting, it will reflect back. Okay, this is what we call it as total internal reflection.
Reflect.
So here it will, here due to internal reflection, the light rays will reflect back. Okay, so first one, refraction takes place, then dispersion, then internal reflection. So that is how we see rainbow. Remember, rainbow is always formed opposite to the direction of sun. You can see rainbow in water fountains as well as wherever there is a waterfall during sunny days. Okay, ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಳೆ ಬರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ವಾಟರ್ಫಾಲ್ ಹತ್ರ ರೈನ್ಬೋ ಕಾಣಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಡ್ರಿ. ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಸನ್ನಿ ಡೇಸ್, that too waterfall should be in the opposite direction to that of the sun, then only we'll see rainbow. ಅದೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪ್ರೇ ಬಾಟಲ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಮೊಬೈಲ್ದು ಟಾರ್ಚ್ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸ್ಪ್ರೇ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ರೈನ್ಬೋ at home itself. You sometimes you will be watching ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಈ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪರೆಂಟ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಬಾಟಲ್ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಲೈಟ್ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಗೋಡೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಲೈಟ್ ಬೀಳ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಕಲರ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಬೀಳ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸೇಮ್. ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್ ದೇರ್, ರಿಫ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್, ದೆನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪರ್ಷನ್, ದೆನ್ internal reflection. That is why you will see rainbow. So actually in rainbow there are two types. One is primary rainbow and one more is secondary rainbow. But in the syllabus they have given only primary rainbow. They have just mentioned formation of rainbow. But in the case of secondary rainbow, this internal reflection takes place for twice. So first light will enter, then it will hit this, again it will reflect back, again from here it will reflect back. So internal reflection takes place twice in the secondary rainbow. Okay, in primary rainbow internal reflection takes place only once. Okay, just know the primary rainbow. So this is about formation of rainbow, how the rainbow is formed. So next concept is atmospheric refraction. So did you understand this? You have any question?
No, sir.
Okay, yes, Akash is there. Akash G. Okay, here see, when light enters here, what will be the first color here? It is red.
Red.
And the last color is violet. Here also it is red. It is violet. If you see rainbow, the topmost color will be red and the bottom color will be violet. You know the reason why it is violet, why it is red. You know the reason, due to their wavelengths as well as speed, as well as refractive index, as well as deviation. But main thing is wavelength. So next is atmospheric refraction. So I have already discussed atmospheric refraction in the previous chapter itself. Again I'll explain it. Atmospheric refraction. So can anybody say what is atmospheric refraction? So if you see through a hot air, you will be seeing flickering movement. Sometimes during summer days, if you observe the road, due to the temperature, you will be seeing the flickering movement. Road mele ನೀರ್ ತರ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಫ್ಲಿಕರಿಂಗ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ನೋಡಿದೀರಾ? Mirage, do you know about mirage?
Yes, sir. Mirage, sir.
So what is mirage?
An optical illusion.
Yeah, in deserts, there won't be any presence of water, but if you see from the long distance, you will observe that water is flowing, right? But there won't be any water. That is due to the atmospheric refraction. You will observe the mirage. Okay, so mirage is also an optical phenomena due to the atmospheric refraction. So, what is atmospheric refraction? What exactly happened? You
Refraction
know,
through
refraction through.
atmosphere.
So you know earth is surrounded by a layer of air. Okay. So this layer of air around the earth we call it as atmosphere, not atmospheric refraction. The layer of air present around the surface of the earth we call it as atmosphere. Okay. So these layers of earth when light enters through these layers of earth, what happens? The light ray will bend. So when light enters the atmosphere, the bending of ray of light, when light enters the earth atmosphere, we call it as atmospheric refraction. Why this ray will bend? So this is the normal at this point. This is the normal. So you can see the ray is bending towards the normal. So why the ray is bending towards the normal? What is the reason?
Rarer medium to denser medium, sir.
Where is the rarer medium? Where is the denser medium? Okay, see the physical condition of the earth's atmosphere is not same. Okay, that means if I take this as earth, now this is the lower layer of the earth above the surface of the earth. So this region is cold. Okay, if you still move up, it will be little bit cold. If you still move up, little bit cold, still move up, hot, still hot, still hot, too much hot. So as you keep on going above the surface of the earth, the layers of atmosphere differs. Here we will find cold air, little bit up, little bit cold. So as you keep on moving above, what happens? The refractive index increases or refractive index decreases. Cold air will have more density. We know refractive index is directly proportional to optical density. Okay, refractive index is directly proportional to optical density. If optical density is more, refractive index will be more. So you consider air, optical density is less, so refractive index of air is 1. So you consider water, optical density of water is more compared to air, so refractive index of water is 1.33. You consider glass, so optical density of glass is more than water, so the
Water.
refractive index is 1.5. You
1.5.
consider diamond, so diamond's optical density is too huge, so the refractive index of diamond will be 2.42.
2.42.
So you can see refractive index is directly proportional to optical density. So if optical density, that means density of molecules, mass by volume, density means mass by volume, the presence of molecules inside that medium is more, means refractive index will be more. So refractive index is directly proportional to optical density. Now here we have cold air, so optical density is more, little bit up. So hot air, if you consider cold air and hot air, which one will have more optical density, cold air or hot air?
Cold air.
Cold air optical is more. Okay, so density of cold air is more, density of hot air is less. So as density is directly proportional to refractive index, so refractive index here is more. So as you go above the surface of the earth, what happens
Decreases.
to index? Refractive index
Decreases.
decreases. So why the refractive index is decreasing? The optical density is changing. So this optical density we call it as physical condition of the earth's atmosphere. As the physical condition of the earth's atmosphere is not same, so what happens? The refractive index decreases. So see, I will consider 3 cases here. First case, refractive index is more. Second case, refractive index is less. Third case, refractive index is 2 less. So when light enters from this medium to this medium, so the second medium I am considering refractive index. Refractive index is more means the light ray, instead of going this way, it will bend towards the normal. Correct?
No. Yes, sir.
So now
Yes,
here
sir.
refractive index is less. As the refractive index is less, the light ray, instead of going this path, what happens? It will bend little bit. And here refractive index is 2 less. So as refractive index is 2 less, what happens when light enters from optically denser medium to optically rarer medium? The light ray will bend away from the normal. Correct? So it is bending away from the normal. So here also when light enters, I will write the layers. So when light enters atmosphere, so here refractive index is less. From, if you take from the top position, from here to here, refractive index increases. If you take from the surface of the earth above, refractive index decreases. Okay, so now light is entering this. So I will consider this as the normal. This is the normal line. So this is the incident light. So first when it enters, what happens? It will bend towards the normal or away from the normal? Here refractive index is less. So from here refractive index is increasing towards the earth. So refractive index is less means what happens? When light enters from optically denser medium to rarer medium, light ray will bend away from the normal or towards the normal? Okay, the light ray will bend like this. Okay, you will be standing here. Okay, leave about the bending. So what happens? This bending, first it will bend like this, next it will bend like this, next. So what is this bending of light through the layers of the atmosphere? We call it as refraction. Bending, sorry, refraction definition: when light enters from one medium to another medium, it bends. Or bending of light, when light enters from one medium to another medium, we call it as refraction of light. Here bending is happening due to the layers of atmosphere. So this is what we call it as atmospheric refraction. Okay, the light ray bends when it enters through the layers of the atmosphere. We call it as atmospheric refraction. Understood atmospheric refraction?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, few applications related to atmospheric refraction. First one is twinkling of star. So twinkling of star is an application of atmospheric refraction. So twinkling of star is due to atmospheric refraction of starlight. So first point is twinkling of star is due to atmospheric refraction of starlight. The starlight on entering the earth, the starlight on entering the earth undergoes okay, the starlight are entering the earth undergoes refraction continuously. Okay, so the atmosphere is changing. So due to the gradually changing atmosphere, refraction will take place continuously. So that is why what happens, the position of the star will shift. Okay, let me explain it first. So this is earth. So you are standing here. So these are the layers of the atmosphere. So I will consider somewhere here the star. Okay, you can see. So star is exactly at this point. So this is the actual position of the star. So if you see the star, its actual position is here. But what happens due to the bending? So if you see this exactly, so due to the refraction through the layers of the atmosphere or through the gradually changing refractive index, instead of seeing the star here, you will be able to see the star above the actual position. So this is actual position. This is the apparent position of the star.
Current position.
So due to the gradually changing refractive index, the starlight on entering the earth atmosphere, it will bend towards the normal. As the starlight is bending towards the normal, the apparent position of the star is slightly above the actual position. Okay, as the starlight bend towards the normal, as the starlight is bent towards the normal due to the refraction, the apparent position of the star is above the actual position. So, sir, is this apparent position of the star is stationary? No, this apparent position of the star is also not stationary. Why it is not stationary? Because the physical condition of the earth atmosphere is not stationary. The physical condition of the earth atmosphere is also keeps on varying. As the physical condition of the earth's atmosphere keeps on varying, the position of the apparent position of the stars also keeps on fluctuating. It won't be stationary. The apparent position of the star won't be the same. Sometimes it may come here, sometimes it may go back again, sometimes it may move little bit above the apparent position. So depending on the physical condition, the position of the star will change. Okay, so since stars are very far away from the earth, stars are considered as point size sources. Point size sources andre single point anta consider ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ star na. Okay, since stars are considered as point size sources, so this point size sources on entering the earth's atmosphere undergoes several times refraction. So as it undergoes several times refraction, also the physical condition of the earth atmosphere is keeps on varying. So you will see this point size sources as flickering. Okay, flickering moment irutta ee point size source enirta, it will be flickering. Okay, why it will be flickering? Due to the variation of earth's atmosphere. It will not be constant. As it is keep on changing, the apparent position of the star is also keep on changing. So as that is keep on changing, we will see that as flickering moment. So as it is flickering, sometimes we see the star bright, sometimes we see the star fainter. So this is what we call it as twinkling of star. So because of this flickering moment, sometimes the star appears brighter, sometimes it appears fainter. So that causes the twinkling effect. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will repeat it once again. Why the stars twinkle? So the twinkling of star is due to main reason atmospheric refraction. The starlight as entering on entering earth's surface undergoes several times refraction. So due to the gradually changing refractive index, the starlight on entering the atmosphere bend its light towards the normal. As it bends its light towards the normal, the apparent position of the star is slightly above the actual position of the star. So this apparent position of the star is not stationary. It keeps on changing. Why it keeps on changing? Because the physical condition of the earth's atmosphere is not stationary. As this is not stationary, the apparent position of the star is also keeps on varying. Since the stars are very far away from the earth, we consider star as a point size sources. So as these point size sources entering the earth, due to the gradually changing refractive index, we see this point size sources as flickering. So this flickering moment causes sometimes the star to appear brighter and fainter. So this appearance of brighter and fainter, we call it, that causes twinkling effect. So this is how we say the stars twinkle. Actually the star will not twinkle. So this is the actual position of the star. It will not twinkle. It will be in its same place. but due to the gradually changing refractive index of Earth atmosphere, we see the flickering moment. So that is why sometimes the star appear brighter, sometimes it appear fainter. Fainter andre dim ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. That is why you will see star as twinkling. Understood? So after this there is one more question: why planets do not twinkle? Can anyone explain why planets do not twinkle? You know, luminous objects and non-luminous objects. Star is a luminous object because it emits its own light. Non-luminous object which don't emit its own light, but it will emit light from the luminous object. For example, you take moon get light from sun and it will emit the light. This is what we call it as reflected light. Okay, so moon is considered as a non-luminous object because it won't emit its own light. So stars are considered as luminous. Also, they are very far from Earth, so they are considered as point-sized sources. Point-sized sources andre individual single source na tagonತೀನಿ. Whereas planets, if you consider planets, this is Earth. Planets are very close to Earth, and also they are considered as extended sources of light. Extended sources of light means so large number of point-sized sources. So I will explain this tomorrow. Why the planet do not twinkle. Along with this, tomorrow I will complete this. Why planet do not twinkle, scattering of light, Tyndall effect, why the color of sky is blue, and there is one activity at the last. That activity is explaining for why the color of sky is orange or reddish during sunrise and sunset. So if I complete this chapter theory will be over. So I'll discuss later the question and answers. Okay, notes. So notes I have already sent exam idea. So copy the chapter notes. Human eye part is not necessary. Only copy the colorful world part. That is from refraction through glass prism. Or you can, if you want, you can copy completely if you get confused. Okay. Any doubt in today's class?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Sai Nikhil Verma, you are old student or new student?
New student, sir.
New student. You are from which school?
AP, sir.
AP. Okay, okay. Okay, have a nice day. Take care. Bye.
I am from Andhra Pradesh.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.